So let's talk about Sister Wives, which is in the other three films are all in the showcase selection because of the when they were released. But this one is from the last year or so. So Sister Wives is in the competition selection.
Woo!
What I'm going to say is, and I can't say too much at the moment, but the jury we've got a jury of 9 people, and they're like in the Cannes Film Festival. We lock them away, and they go watch these films, 21 films, and then they've come back with some comments. And whether I'm allowed to say this or not, Sister Wives is one of the highest rated so far. It's been
Oh,
overwhelmingly positive. My partner watched it, said it's the best film of the festival so far that she's seen.
stop.
Yeah, so she loved it.
Oh, that
So
means a
yeah,
lot to me. Thank her for me.
I will do. But I'm sure you're very proud of it as well. I mean, the fact you're in it as well. I mean, let's start from the beginning with Sister Wives. Where was this conceived? Were you always going to play the main role yourself?
So I'm a big consumer of documentaries. I've got a real interest in cults. I find them fascinating. And I stumbled across a documentary called Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. It's a Netflix documentary. It's still on there now if you want to check it out. It's a four-parter, and it's basically about this extreme sect of polygamous Mormons in Utah, where the men can have as many wives as they want. The more wives you have, the closer to God you are considered, but women can only have one husband. So you've got these houses with like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 wives. It's insane. But another weird thing about them is they dress like they're from the Victorian times.
Mm.
So they're in these prairie dresses. They can't show any skin beyond wrist or ankle. They're not allowed to cut their hair. They can't wear makeup. They can't even really show their neck. So it looks like you're looking at something from hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but this is happening now. This cult is alive and well. Their prophet has been in prison for years, but he's still doing sermons from prison. He's a paedophile. They're marrying 11-year-old girls to 70-year-old men. The state of Utah just kind of leave them alone and like just leave them to it, which means the stuff that's happening there is continuing and nobody's really intervening, which is horrifying. Sister Wives. So I saw this documentary and I thought it was fascinating. I was surprised that nobody had covered it from like a kind of more fictional narrative angle because there's so much to explore from costume design to hair and makeup, wigs, production design. It's just a delight on the eyes, this group of people. And then obviously there's the darkness within. And I'm really interested in queer stories. And I just thought to myself, I think if there's these houses and there's like 50 women and one man, he can't be getting around everyone. So, so like people must be feeling lonely, starved of affection or attention. And could there be a chance that maybe any of the sister wives had started to turn to one another for that affection or that listening ear or that, you know, TLC? And that's kind of where my story began, I guess.
I mean, to speak to about yeah, because you depicted a certain culture, I suppose. Did have you received any backlash or like feedback on that from perhaps Americans or perhaps someone from that area of life? Have you received any? I mean, you must have really received something.
I've spoken to a few people that have escaped the FLDS. So the cult is the fundamentalist church of the Latter-day Saints.
Yes,
And a bunch of them have escaped and joined TikTok. So we like all follow each other on TikTok.
that's
So
brilliant.
I've had some cool messages from them. A lot of them being like, by the way, this is happening. Which I felt very encouraged by. I was like, yay, girls are kissing in the cult. That makes me so happy. But yeah, there's definitely been some pushback. I mean, a lot of the Mormons have been quite pissed off. I think they think that I may have taken it a little bit too far, but it's not explicitly about the FLDS. It's just kind of inspired by them. So,
Mm.
for example, my film is covered in crucifixes because I love crucifixes. I think they look cool, but Mormons don't have crucifixes. They don't want any symbols that equate to the death of Jesus. They only really want. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear a siren. I live
No, I
in
can't.
I live on a really busy main road in South London, and it's like, yeah, Mormons don't actually have crucifixes, but I love them, so I put them all over my film. And I've had loads of messages from the Mormons being like, "We don't like crucifixes. That's wrong." And I'm like, ah, whatever.
Gosh.
It's a technically it's a fictional cult that Cadence and Galilee live in that's just been inspired by certain other cults. But generally, it's had quite a nice response, Sister Wives. I think people seem to have quite connected to it.
Absolutely. Where did you get those names from then? The names of the girls. Where did you get those names from?
I love those names.
Yeah.
Where did I get them? I think, if I'm being honest, I probably typed Mormon girls' names into Google at some point in 2023 and just
Mm.
through the list. It's been so mad writing the feature version because there's about 300 characters. I've had to
Oh my
like I've
gosh.
had to like make a family tree with like all the different names to remind myself whose child is who, whose wife is what. It gets quite complicated in the feature. You'll see hopefully next year.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to try and stop giving you all this flattery, but it's a film you watch and you go, I hope she makes that into a feature. I mean, because it's only for an
Oh,
hour, so you're almost there. But yeah, you wrote this on your own.
I did, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. How do you write? Do you sit in a corner somewhere? Do you put headphones on? Do you like to sit in a pub?
Well, Sister Wives, I wrote on a plane. Um, I'm quite a fast writer once I get into flow. Once I'm kind of in that, once I'm in it, I'm in it. And I'd watched the documentary before a flight. I think I was going on holiday to like Italy or something, and I'd watched the documentary the night before, and I was sitting on the plane. I was with my partner, and I swear to God, it was like this. And I turned to my partner and I went, "Oh my God, I think I know what my next film's going to be." Because I hadn't written one since the call center. So 4 years I didn't write anything. I was just making other people's films. And I remember I was like, you know that documentary we watched last night? I was like, do you reckon any of the girls are like kissing? And my partner was like, oh yeah, probably. I was like, I should write a film about that. That'd be really interesting. And I think by the end of the flight, like by the time I landed in Italy, I'd done the first draft and we sort of went from there. Um, and in terms of how I write, I have a full-time job, so I work in insurance. So I just finished a shift before I hopped on with you. Um, I have to work full-time in insurance to survive. So now when I write, I'm usually saving up my holiday pay from my day job. I'll normally take a week off and write in that week. So I wrote the Sister Wives feature in a week because I had 1 week before I had to go back to my insurance job. Um, and I'm a bit of a night owl. I do a lot of night writing until like 4 or 5 in the morning or something stupid. It's just whenever the flow kicks in, you know?
Yeah. I don't know much you can talk about the feature, but with the short version, the two cast other than yourself are very recognizable. Obviously, me and McKenna Bruce, and I forget the other guy's name, but it's from Downton Abbey.
Michael
Um,
Fox.
how did you get how did you get Michael and Mia to do this? I mean, Mia obviously at the time, probably around that time, she won that BAFTA. She's the next up and coming thing. How So tell us how you cast those two.
I'm so lucky. They're both my mates.
Oh,
I went to primary school with Michael. And then Mia and Mia grew up as actresses together on CBBC. She was in the kind of Tracy Beaker universe, a show called The Dumping Ground. And then I was on a show called Wolf Blood for years. And both of these CBBC shows both shot in Newcastle. So me and Mia had kind of known each other since we were kids, really. And then in 2021, we got cast in the same TV series, this show called Vampire Academy that was made by NBC Universal. and her and I ended up filming that together for 8 months in Spain, in Vampire Academy. And then she blew up with How to Have Sex. She won the BAFTA, she won the BIFA, they won the Uncertain Regard at Cannes, and for some mad reason, she still decided to sign on to Sister Wives, which changed everything. But I owe them a lot. They're both still very dear friends of mine, and what they did with Kate, with Galilee and Jeremiah was like beyond my wildest dreams. But yeah, very lucky. They're my mates. I'm a nepo baby. Can you be a nepo baby with friends?
Nepo brother, sister? I don't know.
I'm a nepo friend.
Nepo friend. You're a Nepo friend. You owe it to all your friends.
Nepo
Um,
mate.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, they're both terrific, obviously, in it, and
Yeah.
very good casting. A question about directing, because this is one where you are predominantly directing yourself. You are probably the lead, actually. How is that different from, without saying the obvious, directing other actors? I mean, you're in this one for the duration.
Yeah, it was a dream. I mean, Cadence is one of is maybe my favorite character I've ever played ever. I just love her so much. She's so dear to me. Um, and again, I hadn't really booked anything for a while. It had been a couple of years since Vampire Academy. So just to act again was so fun, and to do it, through a character that I adored so much was really special. Um, there are a few technical things that you have to do when it comes to acting and directing at the same time. You got to make sure you've got a mini monitor on your kit list. So basically, I always have a little monitor strapped to me when I'm on set, even if I'm acting in it. So, like, I've got my full wig on and my prairie dress, and I've got my monitor attached to me. So I can literally stand on my mark as an actress, rehearsing and framing and lighting up the scene with my DOP and my gaffer while standing on my mark whilst looking at the screen. And then before we start rolling, just at the last minute, somebody will remove the monitor off of me and take it to the side. We'll do the scene. I can feel whether I've nailed it or not. And obviously, I'm also watching the other actor in the scene with me. So I kind of get an idea whether they've nailed it or not. Then we call cut. On a normal film set, when you call cut, sparks are in, costumes are in, hair and makeup are in. But on a set where I'm acting and directing, everybody has to hold completely still and silent until my monitor has been returned back to me. Either someone pops some headphones on me, I watch playback, and then we decide whether we're ready to move on or not. Um, I plan meticulously, I shot list very carefully, and I'm always kind of thinking of worst case scenarios of what could go wrong. And listen, sometimes when you're getting to the end of the day and your choice is to watch playback or lose a shot, I'm always going to choose to sack off playback and get that extra shot and trust that I'm being held by my team. I trust my team around me. I've usually always got a producer by monitor. I've got a script supervisor that I really trust. And I've never felt like anyone around me has let me down. So it's not as hard as it sounds like it would be.
Yeah, it does sound hard, even though you've explained it so well, but because you have to be two different people. But as you say, that comes off, and then you become the actress. But then at the same time, you're watching your colleagues. Yeah, I mean, you must have a big sponge brain in there.
Yeah.
Um, Couple of collaboration questions. One is there was some a little bit of humor in this film. There's no doubt about it. The butts, the chopping of the aubergine, like really good editing choices. So talk about your editing. I know I keep going on about editing, but also the cinematography. There was some very landmark photography in this. Figures in the wilderness or in the house. Let's talk about
Mm.
those two collaborations.
Yeah. So the editor and the cinematographer, I'd actually worked with both of them before. So again, the relationship was already there. We kind of knew how we both worked. The editor is called Chloe Kilby. I mentioned her earlier. She's the one that came up with the brilliant idea in the ceiling to
Yeah.
stay on the girl and not cut away. She is a really amazing editor. She's got really great instincts. One of the moments that Chloe picked out for the edit on Sister Wives that I really loved is she found some B-roll of some birds flying in the sky because I was acting and directing at the same time. So if I had to go off and do like a wig change or a costume change, I'd always say to my DOP, just get me some B-roll, get me some birds, some trees, some donkeys, water, whatever. When Chloe was sifting through the footage, she found a shot of three birds. I don't know if you remember it. It's only a very quick moment. Three birds flying in the sky. They're all flying together at the beginning, and then two go one way and one go the other.
Oh,
And
interesting.
that's the shot that we squidged in before you cut to Cadence in the red dress walking down the road. So I thought that was one of Chloe's brilliant editing ideas. And then Angela Zoe Neal is the cinematographer. We made my first film, The Call Center, The Ceiling, and Sister Wives, and she's making two of my next short films as well. She is she is a rare find, Angela. She is the first DOP that ever really believed in me, made me feel that I could do it. She always makes it so easy for me to direct and act at the same time. I never feel like a burden. I never feel like I'm, annoying her. She's never made me feel anything less than like a proper filmmaker. And she never loses her head. She's got no ego. She talks to everybody with respect, and she has got such a vision. And her and Angela paired with our colorist, Carol Cybulski. It was like some portrait of a lady on fire shit going on. It was just a beautiful marriage. Um, my whole team are amazing. I'm so lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I suppose it's costuming as well. Was that tricky, the costuming? Because as you say, until the phone turns up, I don't think some people are even going to realize that it's
I
set
mean,
in.
yeah, yeah. Costume was tricky because, I mean, Connie needed way more of a costume budget than we could give her because a period drama, like those are expensive.
Mm.
She managed to find some prairie dresses online that were white, and she just dyed them all different colors. And then she sewed frills onto them to give them like a little bit more structure. Um, she's amazing. Connie was incredible with the costumes. We had Ruth Pease on hair and makeup. Again, we did not have enough money to like get the kind of wigs that we needed because these women have hair down to their ankles.
Mm.
So Ruth was sewing together like 10 different wigs just to get the length that we needed because we couldn't afford actual real long hair. So she was like sewing together like all these different wigs. She taught herself how to do those really complex FLDS plaits. The production designer, Harrison, oh my goodness, what he did was incredible as well. He wallpapered an Airbnb. He covered a black marble kitchen in like this plastic wooden vinyl. Everybody pulled off complete miracles, honestly.
Yeah, you must be very proud of it. It
Yeah.
really is. It really is a terrific film. I suppose one thing I noticed was that especially with the ending, is so uplifting. It felt like not stealing your mantra or your ideas, but the whole festival that I'm running. It just feels like that the message is very synonymous with the festival. That there is
Yeah.
these restrictions, and at the end, the women are gonna do what they want, and that's what the festival's about. This is a perfect film for the festival. That is the last nice thing I'm gonna say to you.
I'll
But
take it.
no, amazing. It's been worth. the wait a year to speak to you face to face. Obviously, we've been chatting to see four of your films. I will check out the call center. I promise I've not seen it. Do apologize. I will find it. Going forward, then, you've got a couple of what can you tell me about that you've not already about the next shorts? And are you casting the same people in the feature film? If you're allowed to tell me,
I can't speak at all about the feature film as of
no problem.
yet.
No problem.
But we will be making Sister Wives next year with a really wonderful team of people. And hopefully we'll be announcing some more stuff about that soon. But at the moment, I'm embargoed.
It was where I had to ask. I had to ask.
Yeah, you've got to. You've got to. It's good journalism. And then I've got three more short films on my slate. One of them is one that I've written, which is called The Intimacy Coordinator.
Well, look at that.
A role that I have used very often, as you know. And then another wonderful short film called Full Fat, written by Cara Mahoney, who you know.
Of
Uh,
course, yes,
I
yeah.
can't remember what film she submitted to you guys. It was either Fish or Mole, I
It was
imagine.
Mall. She did Mall. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Beautiful film. I've seen that one. Both of her, but Fish is also really good as well by her. And then another short film called Scratching Post, which is by a wonderful writer called Abigail Hardingham. All three of these films would be perfect for your festival. So hopefully I'll see you again next year with these three new ones.
Yeah, and bring the call center next year. And we'll do
All
we'll
right, I
do
will, I will.
we'll do those three and four, and we're gonna do another four. You're so
Nice.
busy this
Okay,
year.
cool. Yeah.
Um,
I'm setting quite a high bar for myself of the amount of films that I submit to you every
yeah,
year.
because the year after that, I'm gonna want five, and you're gonna be too busy with your feature. You're not gonna be able to do it.
Or maybe you should make a features section and then I can just give you the Sister Wives feature.
Well, there is a feature section. We
Oh,
usually use like pre-released, but if
yeah.
if if available, submit it, and we'll because obviously I can't wait for that. But yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations on
Thank you.
Sister Wives, and again, thank you very much for bringing not just your films to the festival, but you did bring some other very talented people, and it's made the
Oh.
selection. It's made a selection a very much of a headache for me, but it's the best kind of.
Sorry.
No, but it's the best kind of headache. It's usually about 30 short films, and we've got 63 this year, so it's
Woo!
absolutely crazy. And 62 of them is your fault, but I'm
You're
joking.
welcome.
Oh yeah, will you wait till next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
It's gonna be double next year.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to ask you about the feature again, and you're going to give me some answers.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure to me.
Cheers, Robin.
I'm telling people you're very talented, and you are. And
Yay.
I can't wait to people see your films, Louisa. Excellent work.
Awesome. Well, thank you for choosing them. I'm so thrilled. And on behalf of me and all of the teams of the various films, we're very happy.
Yeah,
So thank you so much.
lovely speaking to you.
Have a nice evening.
You as well. See you soon.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.